Hi, Kahlil Wilson from Orthotech here. I'm just going to briefly go through our new Orthotech 3D software. So not many changes on the front end with the exception of this client login button, which will take you straight to your My Orthotech portal. There's been lots of changes on the script, so let's go into the custom script. You'll notice the layout's a little bit different. We've got drop-down boxes and scrolling wheels here. Now, the main difference and the reason we changed it is this addition type. So what we've added is our most common additions so that there's no confusion about what you're going to get. So the reason we did this, we would get people that would write in the notes that they want a 2 to 5 bar. So a 2 to 5 bar to us is a metatarsal bar, or they'd request, sorry, a 2 to 5 metatarsal bar, wanting a reverse Morton. So they'd request a sesamoid pad. Is a sesamoid pad a soft, slow release Morton's extension, or is it a single wing PMP to offload it? We'd get requests for a lot of other things, a small wedge under the distal hallux. What else is that known as? Well, it's known as a Cluffy wedge. We want to know what density you want and what is small. Is it 2 mil or is it 4 mil? So you can actually specify exactly what you want and left or right. Other changes are the design. So the 9 designs are now sitting in here with the tick box for other. So we could only fit 7 on the other script. M.S.M.A feels the same. We now have medial heel skive and lateral heel skive as opposed to Kirby skive. So we are not using people's names for any additions or modifications. We're using podiatric terms. So medial heel skive, lateral heel skive. The next change is intrinsic met dome. So we used to have no fill 2 to 4. Intrinsic met dome means that the met dome is going to be there regardless of what fill is available on the scan or the cast. So it was more our client's expectation to have an intrinsic met dome regardless of what was there. So we changed the no fill 2 to 4. Other things that have been moved from additions into shell cast modifications are things like in and out toe gate plates, because the vast majority of the time they are out of the rigid shell. Second plantar plate modification is now on the script as a tick box. It was always available through notes. Again, if you're not sure what it is, click on the info button and everything becomes available. 3D print, poly, composite hasn't really changed. EVA has a little bit, so we have single density drop down box. We have dual density with top bottom layer, so the top layer will be soft in this instance, bottom medium. Tri-laminate, we want to know what the arch fill is, so beneath the tri-laminate, because it has to be filled with something. Grinds have moved to a drop down. Rear foot posts have the style added to it. Everything that you see on here is also on the online prescription form. Material, met dome, so we now have met dome low profile, met bar and kidney shaped dome. Again, click on the information button and you can drill down into what those are. The big one, the addition types, again, they're our oh, sorry, I'm jumping through to the website. I'll just click out of that. So these cover about 97-98% of our pads. So there will be a small amount that need to go in the notes. If you need more than 2, then you can put them in the notes, but we encourage you to use this terminology. And if you want to know what that terminology is or looks like or what it's used for, jump into here, scroll down, reverse Morton's extension to sulcus. You'll have a small description, examples of what it's used for, so used to promote first ray function or offload first metatarsal and hallux. Most common material is EVA, most common thickness 2 to 4. So each one will have a small description, clear and precise. This has all remained the same. Click here for available colors. So if you click here, what you're going to get is what we have in stock at the moment. So we will be keeping this up to date. So if you're looking for EVA, for example, click here and you'll see the thicknesses and the colors. So the other exciting thing is we've increased the range in the semi-custom orthoses. So instead of just having 0 through to 12, you can now order whatever you like, and this makes it by far the biggest semi-custom range in Australia. You can have a 20 degree valgus, you can have a 30 degree varus, and anything in between. So and you can keep going up, and that goes for all of our designs. Now, some of these designs you were restricted to 3D print. You can now have the full 9 designs in any material you like, including dual density or tri-laminate. So it's a pretty extensive range for a semi-custom. Keep in mind that the intrinsic modifications here are not charged for in a custom orthotic. They are charged for in a semi-custom because we are building it just like we are a custom orthotic. So if you add too many of these, we're nearing the cost of a custom orthotic. So the idea is that you might just need a lateral heel skive on one side on a 0 degree, and you're willing to pay a little bit more for it, but I wouldn't load it up too much, otherwise you may as well get a custom. Everything else from shell material is the same as the custom. Control 360, the pre-made, that will go through to the website now instead of having a form, and the Control 360 Pro largely hasn't changed. Hope you like the software. Really encourage you to download this software and use it. If you are using the online form, everything else that you've seen today is on there. Happy for any positive and or negative feedback on it. Thank you for your time. Take care.